Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to DataSurface. If you're watching this video for the first time, I recommend checking out the playlist and watching the previous videos in this series as they will provide foundational concepts needed for this video. So let's get started with today's topic, data lake limitations. In previous video, we have discussed about the overview of the data lake, right? Like what is data lake and use cases of data lakes and benefits of the data lakes. We have already discussed as part of the previous video. So now let's see what are the limitations with the traditional data lakes. So please note here, I'm not talking about the cloud. I'm still talking about all the legacy system. Okay. So let's jump into the topic. Right, data lakes are powerful for storing massive amounts of raw, unstructured, and semi-structured data. However, they have a limitations that can hinder their effectiveness if not managed properly. So here is an overview of the few key limitations. Lack of data governance and quality control. Data lakes can handle all types of data, right? So they don't have any constant mechanism to enforce the data quality. So this makes difficult to extract the meaningful insights from that. For example, if you take any retail company stores customers transactions data in the data lake but doesn't validate the incoming data. If you see this particular example use case, a retail company can continuously source the data and they can store that particular data, but they won't do any data quality check, which leads they can get the repetitive data and it makes data duplication, right? So over a period of time it is happening like this. Then if you want to get the accurate analysis, it is a kind of a bit of challenging part in data lake. Now second limitation, complexity in querying in analytics, right? So the data lakes is primarily stores raw data, which often requires extensive processing and transformation before it can be used for analysis, right? So always the data will be stored in the form of raw format, right? Then you cannot directly query the data. So before querying the data, requires significant of compute power to process the data. The next one is high cost for storage and processing. So like while storage cost is data lake are relatively low, but the cost of processing raw data can skyrocket, especially for computationally intensive tasks. So, compared to OLTP and OLTP, storage is relatively low cost in data lakes. But since you are getting the all data in the form of raw format, so you need so much compute power, and for that, with significance of security and access control. The traditional data lakes may lack granular security features, making it difficult to control who can access the specific data subsets. You cannot give a granular level access to the particular person who can access only this set of data. That much granular level security access control is not available in the traditional data lakes. For example, if you take a financial institution, data lake contains the sensitive information. Due to inadequate role-based access control, access the sensitive customer information without proper authorization. So if you see in this use case, even though sensitive data is there, if that particular subset of data is required for the use case, you don't have a control to hide this sensitive data. So even though that particular person is not authorized to access the data, sometimes can able to see that. Now the next one is lack of metadata management. Data lakes often lack robust catalog or metadata management tools, making it difficult to the users to discover, understand, and use the data effectively. So, what is mean by metadata? Like, if you take any Oracle and all, so in SQL databases, you can see right like data dictionary tables, right? All the tables, like who created, when created that particular table, what is the table size, or what are the constraints that apply in that particular table. So you can able to find out all these metadata from the data dictionary table. But in the data lakes, you don't have such kind of a cool feature, and you cannot get that level metadata in data lake. If you take a marketing team stores the campaign performance data in the data lake, but cannot identify which file correspond to the specific campaign due to the poor metadata documentation. This is the kind of a example for that, right? And data lineage and traceability issues. So tracking the origin and transformations of the data can be challenging in data lake, especially when dealing with the large scale ingestion from multiple sources. So data lineage is nothing but like if you have a final table and you want to see what are the sources for that particular table and from how many table the data is coming to that particular final table and what are the corresponding columns is mapped to the previous tables or old tables. So this kind of a lineage is not available in data lakes, especially when you're dealing with a large data set. But whereas if you go to the OLTP system, you have clear picture like from where this data is coming, what is the parent table for this, what is the source table for this, basically. All these details you can get it easily. That also kind of a limitation in data lake. Difficult in managing small frequent updates, right? So you cannot use data lakes for the day-to-day transactions. It's very difficult to manage. Lack of built-in machine learning and BI integration. Traditional data lakes do not natively support machine learning flows or seamless integration with BI tools. So now if you look at the cloud data lakes, so they can directly integrate with Power BI and you can consume the data from the data lake. But in traditional data lakes, we don't have that flexibility. So once you brought the data into the data lakes, you need to process the data and then you need to bring the data into the data warehouse. Then you can establish the connection with the BI tools and you can consume the data. But you cannot directly consume the data from the data lake when it is in the raw format. Performance bottleneck. So performance bottlenecks in the sense the data lakes are not optimized for interactive or real-time queries as they are designed for both batch processing and large-scale data storage. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more data engineering tutorials. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.